ਅੱਜ ਅਸੀਂ ਗੁਰਦੁਆਰਾ ਦੁੱਖ ਨਿਵਾਰਨ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਜੋ 66 ਸਟਰੀਟ ਤੇ ਐਲਰਸੀ ਰੋਡ ਤੇ ਆ ਉੱਥੇ ਪਹੁੰਚੇ ਆ। ਜਿੱਥੇ ਅੱਜ ਐਡਮਿੰਟਨ ਅਲਬਰਟਾ ਦੇ ਸਾਬਕਾ ਡਿਪਟੀ ਪ੍ਰੀਮੀਅਰ ਟਾਮਸ ਲੁਕਾਜ਼ਕ ਹੋਰਾਂ ਨੇ ਪਹੁੰਚਣਾ ਹੈਗਾ। ਉਹਦਾ ਕਾਰਨ ਇਹ ਆ ਕਿ ਟਾਮਸ ਲੁਕਾਜ਼ਕ ਹੋਰਾਂ ਨੇ ਪਿੱਛੇ ਜਿਹੇ ਸਿਗਨੇਚਰ ਕਰਵਾਏ ਸੀ ਲੋਕਾਂ ਦੇ ਵੀ ਅਸੀਂ ਕੈਨੇਡਾ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਰਹਿਣਾ ਆ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ, ਔਰ ਉਹ ਜਿੰਨੇ ਚਾਹੀਦੇ ਸੀ ਉਦੋਂ ਕਿਤੇ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਨੰਬਰ ਹੋ ਗਏ ਸੀ। ਪਰ ਹੁਣ ਉਹ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਨਵਾਂ ਰੈਫਰੈਂਡਮ ਇੱਕ ਹੋ ਰਿਹਾ 19 ਅਕਤੂਬਰ ਨੂੰ, ਉਹਦੇ ਬਾਰੇ ਉਹ ਦੱਸ ਰਹੇ ਨੇ ਕਿ ਇਹ ਅਲਬਰਟਾ ਨੂੰ ਵੱਖ ਕਰਨ ਦੀਆਂ ਜਿਹੜੀਆਂ ਗੱਲਾਂ ਹੋ ਰਹੀਆਂ ਨੇ ਉਹਦੇ ਬਾਰੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਲੋਕਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਅਵੇਅਰ ਕਰਨਾ। ਤੇ ਆਓ ਅੱਜ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨਾਲ ਗੱਲਬਾਤ ਕਰਾਂਗੇ ਔਰ ਉਹ ਗੱਲਬਾਤ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਆ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਨਾਲ ਸਾਂਝੀ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਾਂ। Thomas, you have been a deputy premier for Alberta for a few years. Uh, what do you think? Why this sentiment of separatism is in Alberta? Why it keep on cropping up?
It's always been here since Premier Eberhard, was the premier. This sentiment was brewing, and not only in Alberta, in British Columbia and Saskatchewan as well. They used to call for West once in. There was this thing. We're a large country. We have diverse economies, and sometimes when one part of the country prospers and the other country doesn't, there's this friction going on. And there's that sort of sense of isolation. But I think most of those issues have been addressed right now. The relationship between Ottawa and our government in Alberta is really good right now with Prime Minister Carney. MOUs have been signed. So I think if there was a message to be sent, it already was sent and heard. But it crops up. But now we have an unusual situation because we have a president in the United States that's promoting separation, calling Canada 51st state, and Canadian prime ministers, governors. We have a premier in Alberta that doesn't say hard no to separatism. All previous premiers would say no to separatism. And during COVID, a lot of these individuals found each other. Those were the same people who were against vaccinations, against wearing masks. It's literally the same group of organizers, so they sort of organize themselves through social media because social media has a lot of impact. So they seem louder, and it seems like there are more of them. But polling still estimates that not more than 17% of Albertans are hardcore separatists. But now they're more vocal. They have more ways of making their views known. And there's also a lot of foreign interference and foreign financing. We're finding that through YouTube and other channels, there is interference promoting separatism and wanting to break up Western democracies, wanting to create chaos in Western democracies.
Thomas, when we look at as the numbers you have mentioned, and there was some petition against it by the Aboriginal people.
Yes.
And I read the other day the headlines by the Bruce McAllister, where he's saying that they shouldn't be involved when it says it's the treaty which is being broken. Yeah. Their way.
Look, there's a lot of racism in all of this. The people who are promoting separatism want Alberta to be Christian and white. Let's be honest about it. They actually say it. You don't need to read between the lines. They actually openly say it. And they're dealing with First Nations exactly the same way. It's a very racist approach. They want to disregard all the treaties that were signed between First Nations and London, Buckingham Palace. They were signed, many of them, before Canada was even Canada, and they want to disregard all that. They want to get rid of French language in this new country called Alberta. They want to create a Department of Immigration and Deportation, and they're making it clear that they want only immigrants from European, Caucasian countries. And I'm saying no, and that's why I launched this campaign, because this province and this country was built by everybody from all over the world. We pride ourselves on the fact that we are multicultural. That's what makes this country so great. And any kind of sort of racist policies, we need to all pull together and say no, we will not allow this to happen on our watch.
So what's your message going to be today for the...
Well, my message is, I'm not going to tell you how to vote, but I can tell you how I will vote. I will vote no to separatism, so I will check off that A part of the questionnaire, and I will vote against all racist type of questions in that referendum. I'm an immigrant. I came here when I was 12 years old, and I didn't speak one word of English. And I never thought that I would live in Canada when we have to discuss separating from Canada, where we have to discuss, not giving healthcare or education benefits to immigrants. I was one of those immigrants way back then. And now hopefully I'm contributing, like all immigrants end up contributing to this country. It's sad that we have to go through this, but this is the time for all of us, particularly us immigrants, to pull together and say to the government, no.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.